Welcome back to New England Living. Up next, we're in Winchendon, Mass. with Allie Catlin, co-owner of Smith's Country Cheese. You got into this with a love of farming and a passion for farming, but no previous experience doing them. How did that lead to you owning and operating Smith's Country Cheese?
We heard that Smith's Country Cheese was up for sale about 8 years ago, and we called Dave Smith out of the blue. This was the previous owner, and we said, you don't know us and we don't know you, but we're really interested in learning how you farm. We decided to learn the trade for 18 months, and then eventually we left our jobs and sold our home. We have 44 acres. We have about 200 cows right now, so we're milking about 160. So behind us is our farm where we have all the cows' beds and their happy homes. And we also have a lot of huts that have our compost in them. So one of the byproducts of cows, of course, is manure, and we make certified organic compost with that. Come up the road just a little bit and you're at our creamery, where we have our country store and our production facility. It's all in the same building. We have our aging room, a few cold rooms to store all of our products, and our processing room.
Cheese and shopping. You're combining two of my great loves here. What can we find in your store?
Well, of course, you can find our products. All of our cheeses, milk, and butters are here, but we are also very proud to offer local products made by other artisans. So we have some wonderful Massachusetts wines, candles, and a lot of gift products here.
This process starts really early in the morning, 4 a.m., you're milking the cows, and everything happens here on site. What are all the steps in the process?
So beginning around 3 a.m., my husband and my brother-in-law unfortunately have the job of waking up early along with our milkers, and they give the cows fresh bedding and a lot of food, make sure they're comfortable to start the day, and then we begin the milking process. By 6 a.m., we have enough milk, which is usually about 10,000 pounds, to make cheese that day. So one of the guys will fill up a tanker with that and bring a tractor right up to our creamery, which is just up the hill from our farm, and we will begin making cheese. So you're gonna slowly start heating up your milk until you get the right temperature. We're going to add our culture, which is our good bacteria that starts making that delicious cheese. And then we're gonna add the rennet, which is the coagulant, and that will make it almost like a pudding texture. At that time, we will cut the curd, and what will happen is you will see these little forms of curds separate from the whey, and we'll begin a stirring process, and we'll heat those curds with hot water very gently. They're very fragile at that point. While that's stirring and mixing with water, we have to actually go along the vat with a squeegee and stir it so that nothing burns and it all remains at a consistent temperature. We'll drain the whey, and you'll be left with the curds. So we will begin quickly packing those curds into our forms. So if it's cheddar, it's a little bit of a different process and it goes into blocks. And if it's Gouda, it goes into wheels. Those will get pressed for about 2 hours. And by the end of the day, you have wheels of cheese. We throw those into a brine, which is like a nice salty bath, for 48 hours. When those come out, they sit on a shelf and dry, and they get turned daily. They get a lot of loving care. And then we will let those age for 60 days. And at that point, we'll send a random sample from every batch that we make to a food safety lab. And those get tested for pathogens, all those bad bugs you don't want in your food. We will not sell our cheese until we have that negative result from the lab. We will make around 1,000 pounds of cheese per day. Usually 10,000 pounds of milk come up, and we're lucky if we get 1,000 pounds worth of wheels.
I'm trying to wrap my brain around how much cheese that is. You must be one of the biggest cheese providers in the state.
We are. We're very proud to say that we are one of the biggest producers in Massachusetts. We make Gouda, cheddar, Havarti. We also make Gouda spreads, which are a fun twist on our Gouda. And we now bottle our own milk and make our own cultured butter. It's been a dream of ours for years to make butter. So we start the process 24 hours before we make the butter. We have our fresh milk come up from the farm, and we separate it so that we're left with the cream at the end of the day. That's the good stuff we want for butter. We mix in a special butter culture, which not every butter maker needs to do, but we do it because it adds a little bit of flavor and some natural probiotics. We let that cream sit overnight, and then the following morning we begin churning. My sister-in-law is our butter expert here, and she will churn that cream starting in the morning, and by the end of the day she'll have about 40 pieces of fresh salted butter. We use only flaky sea salt, and we also make some new fun flavors.
One of the things that I really love is you invite people to come here and check out the cheese making process in action through a viewing window. It seems like transparency is a big part of what you do.
It is. We want our customers to see how the cheese is made and the care that goes into it. Food safety is really important to us, so we want everyone to feel comfortable knowing that we put a lot of care into that each day. So by being able to see every step of the process, from when we milk the cows to when we form the wheels, we want them to see how much care goes into it.
One of the things that's really important to you is sustainable farming. What are some of the practices that you have in place here?
It is very important to us. The roof of our creamery is covered with solar panels, and we're very fortunate because 70% of our hot water needs are met with that solar panel, and 30% of our electrical needs are met with that. And you use a lot of both when you make cheese and care for cows.
Your team here, you're waking up at 3 a.m., the work doesn't stop throughout the day, and then you're back at it the next day. What makes you love what you do so much?
I think a lot of it is that we made the choice to get into this. We had wonderful, steady jobs prior to this, and we made the switch to farming because we found it so gratifying and we wanted our kids to grow up experiencing this lifestyle. So when we wake up every morning and it's early, it's still really gratifying because we love who we work with, we love the product that we put out, and we care about our customers. Our children eat this food, and we know how important it is to have fresh local food. So we're very passionate about this lifestyle.
Forget about Wisconsin. What makes the cheese here in Massachusetts and New England so special?
We're a very small group, but we're a mighty group, and we stick together. And supporting one small cheesemaker is supporting all of us. The folks who get up early in the morning and are making cheese really care about their product. So we've learned that even though we're small, Massachusetts cheesemakers make a wonderful product.